Patty, Cynthia, I'm so glad to be here and presenting the update on my fall garden. And the things have gotten a lot bigger since the last time when I showed them to you. So if you go back and look at the previous video on this, you'll get a chance to see the progress. Go back and look at it from the beginning. That we've been following these seedlings and putting in the seeds, the seedlings, what happened to the seedlings, planting the seedlings, and now we have this update on them. And I'm glad to have something because I had lost a lot of my seedlings in the storm. So let's go ahead and take this closer look and let's see what's going on. Um, Now, a lot of things I don't know the name of them specifically because of the losing of the labels. But I'm just glad to have something. I don't have nowhere near what I had last year, but I have a pretty good harvest, and I'm getting more. I have pictures at the end that you can look at some of the harvest. Now this plant here, I have had a problem with something going in there and putting holes in all the tomatoes. And it's tunneling inside of the tomatoes, so they're no good to me, the ones that is happening. And I have a couple here that I set aside to show you. I'm so disappointed about it because these tomatoes were so good on this bush. Yeah, see that? And then I have another one here to show you. See that? And I mean, they're big tomatoes. I think I have like 4 like this so far. And I'm sprayed with some Serenade, and I sprayed with Serenade and BT. That's the Mammoth Sunflower there. I'm looking forward to that opening up. These purple potted pole beans have done very, very well of all the beans that I planted. And I've harvested quite a few, and they're continuously coming. This plant here came out of the walkway. If you remember those plants that I had growing in the walkway, and it's just pretty producing pretty good. So you never know how things are going to work out. Sometime a little volunteer plant will be better than the actual ones you put in. I've had a problem with blossom end rot. Normally, I never have that problem. I always know what to do to prevent it. But this year, with the weather and how everything happened, I haven't been able to get a handle on that. I'm just going to show things to you and you can just see them. Um, have a lot of tomatoes that are green. But I wanted to say something to you. If you have tomatoes that are green and it was your summer garden, don't worry about it. They will ripen on the counter. I have done it. And I mean, I've done it with a lot of tomatoes, and they all ripen. Now, mine I'm going to leave out here because I deliberately planted late, and this is, my fall. So I'm going to be adding more things out here. I'm going to be planting more to have, cool weather crops, leafy greens and certain cool weather things. Look at the end of the video. I have a picture that I'm showing you everything that I'm going to be planting. So, a couple of good things in there that you want to check out. I thought I didn't have any peppers, but I got quite a few. A lot of my tomatoes are starting to get color. Now those purple potted pole beans, I've never had those before. And if you have, how did you cook yours? Comment below. I had them last year and I didn't have very many. But I just sort of cooked them like, as I recall, I think I might have sauteed them. Boiled them a little bit, I think, and then sauteed it with something. Seemed like that's how I'm picturing what I did with the ones that I had. Look at the okra. It's doing good. This year is sort of an experiment for me with okra in a pot. And I think I'm definitely going to put more in next year. I'm pleased with how this plant has done. I hope that spray that I put down does some good. I've never had the problem with so many insects on my stuff. Usually I start right out with the neem oil and everything is under control, and you have a few problems. But this time I'm having a lot of things ruined by bugs. So I'm staying on top of it. I sprayed it with those two things. And then I'm going to come back in here with that dust of diatomaceous earth. I know I didn't say it right, but you get my drift on that. And I'm going to be dusting with that. So hopefully I'll get these things under control. And the plants is not looking all that bad. I took out some flowers and some cucumber plants, and the cucumbers and the squash, I'm having a problem. The bugs are trying to take them over. I'm just going to spray and do what I can, and if I can stop them, good. And if I can't, there's always next year. And sad to say that I lost my watermelon plant. I had like a few plants you'll see around the corner. The blueberry. That eggplant is doing really good. The blueberries, I had some flowers in there with them, so I took those flowers out because it was competing. But I got some little baby blueberries in the spring. Maybe you're supposed to cut them off when the plant is small. I don't know. Look how pretty this is. But anyway, I ate them, and oh my goodness, they just exploded in my mouth. So now I have to put more blueberries in. I just loved it. This is so pretty. To me, eggplants are so beautiful. But getting back to the watermelon. There it is right there. I lost the plant. This is a tomato plant that's really, I think, too big for this container. But what is this plant in the bottom? I don't know what that is. Is that a broccoli or anybody know? Comment below. But this is the watermelon. That's a squash that I put in. I put the name on there so you can see the name of it. They grow like that, but they'll get bigger and longer. But then all the plants died of the watermelon except then it came back a little bit. See that little bit there? That came back and got a little flower on it. I don't expect I'm going to get anything from it, but it would be nice if I did. I don't know, it's like a fungus or something got that, took my plants out and killed it. A lot of my cucumber plants, but these little funny looking ones that got that name that I can't pronounce, that I put on there for you, they did real good. So I'm going to definitely be planting them again next year. Definitely. Now, those are the cucumbers that I'm really mostly eating. I got a lot of those. They taste pretty good. They have kind of a lot of seeds, but I just take a spoon and scoop it out. Scoop out the seeds, and they got a little sweetness to them. But look at this, Lemon Queen Sunflower. Isn't that beautiful? So pretty. Yeah, but I had to cut the tips of those cucumbers off because for some reason the little tip can be a little bitter. But the rest of the cucumber was good and tasty and sweet and juicy. They were pretty good. I'm going to definitely plant them next year. I love those sunflowers. Now the squash, I got 2 squash over here. See that one right there? And there's another one in the pot that you can't see. It's covered up. I don't know if that one will make it or not. But they definitely bugs attack them. You know that. I saw that there's some other kind of squash you can put in, that varieties that are not so susceptible to the bugs. I'll probably look for some of those next year. Look at the pepper there. It's been a lot of work because I've had to water a lot more because of the heat. This plant here just suffered. I got just one big squash off of it, and then it struggled. This is looking good. I'm going to have to put a stake in there, though. It needs some support for both of those pepper plants. I bought a different kind of bag cow manure, and I wasn't pleased with it because I'm not sure if that cow manure, had something to do. This is kohlrabi. That's sunburn, I believe. Comment below if you know if it is. See, the kohlrabi is starting to get the little bulb on it. And I read that you can eat the leaves. I've never had kohlrabi before, but I like what I read about it. Now these squash here, I don't know if I'm going to get any squash or if they're going to die. I'm going to, do everything that I know to do. And then we'll see. I got one there, see that? And I got more coming. But last year they were looking like this, and then they got taken out by the bugs. So I don't know. But right now they looking okay, I guess. I didn't have, yeah, see that? It's getting a bulb on there. I haven't had a lot of experience with butternut squash. That's not something I usually would grow. I'm growing different things. I'm experimenting with different stuff. See that bulb? But I heard that you can eat these leaves. So you know what? I'm going to go out there and get me some of those leaves and saute it up and see what they taste like. I heard they're very tasty. They got a little kick to them. It said they have a little kick to them. So if you don't like stuff like that, you might not like that. These tomato plants are ones that I put in real late. Didn't expect them to do anything at all, but look at them. They got buds and tomatoes. Not a lot, but it got some, but it ain't over yet. And when it was so hot and humid, some days I just didn't come out. So some of the plants suffered a little bit because I just didn't come out. It was just too hot and humid. And after a while, and you come out every day, you just needed a break. At least I did. Now these plants here, I don't know what that is. Tell me if you know what kind of flower those are. I got some free seeds and I planted them. But they were mixed. Swiss chard Last year I had a lot more Swiss chard. I'm going to put some more in. I love Swiss chard. I've already harvested and eaten some of it. Very good. This pot here, I got a lot of stuff in it. I was going to take some of it out, and then I just decided to leave it all in there. Now the yellow squash in there, summer squash. Right there, nasturtium. I found that growing on the ground, put it in there. See how that does. I left that bag and stuff on there with them bricks on the side. And something climbed up on there, probably a rabbit. Use that as a way to climb up on there and taste it. See those plugs out of those leaves? But I guess it didn't like it because it didn't come back. But I need to get that bag out of there because it's killing that grass in that spot, or the weeds in that spot, whatever you want. Because I don't really worry about grass, or I just let grow what wants to grow. I have a kind of wild backyard garden. I have a lot of woods and some serious weeds. These bags have done very well. These tomatoes, I'm just going to let them sprawl on the ground. I'm not even going to stake them. Look at the zinnia. I planted the zinnia. And I planted the sunflower. And these tomatoes are the ones that I got out of the walkway. And then I just stuck them in a bag. I had these bags sitting over here, and I just put them in there. And didn't even prepare the dirt or do anything. I just left it. Look at these Mammoth Sunflowers. But I have fertilized them. I fertilized the bags. And I was so proud of myself, I made some compost. I made it in a 5-gallon bucket. And I didn't really even think it would do anything, but it did, because I didn't do like I was supposed to, turning it, watering it. I did things when I remembered. But I've got some compost, so now I'm going to be putting some compost in this fall garden for my seedlings, and also for some of these other plants. I don't know what that was up there, but I killed it. I hope it wasn't a good bug. So I got a little compost. So now I'm just going to say this. Anybody listening, if you want to make some compost, I made it with kitchen scraps, eggs, kitchen scraps, stuff like that. I put in leaves that have fallen off the tree, the dried leaves from the fall. And I got compost. So proud of it. I went in there to stir it. I said, well, let me stir it and water it. And I went to stir it, and it was black, looking like dirt. And I was like, oh my goodness, I got compost. Yay! So pleased with that. Years ago, I had a big old compost bin and had made compost, but I didn't really do it. My family did it. They more or less did everything. But this time it was totally me. And I didn't like it years ago because it had so many weeds in it. Because I guess we didn't heat it up and do all the stuff it should have, But this time, my compost is kitchen scraps and leaves. So it shouldn't have a problem with a whole bunch of weed seeds, because I haven't put stuff in there that has it. So, I don't know. I'm going to let you know later on if I think my garden was a success or a failure this year. Every year I give my garden a grade, a success or a failure. And it's not over yet because I'm getting ready to plant more fall things. And at the end, you'll be able to see some of the harvest things that I've harvested. Some stuff I forgot to take a picture of it, and I ate it, so you didn't get to see it, but I have gotten harvest off of stuff already. Now I'm going to show you in a little while the only place so far that I have stuff planted in the ground. I have some tomato plants in the ground. And keep in mind, when you look at them, that these were planted last, and they were a fall planting. So don't look at them like summer plants. They were planted last of everything, the last thing so far. So I'm walking over there now. That place that I have those bags in that cardboard, I don't know what to do with that yet. I want to plant it up, but I don't know quite what I want to put in there yet. I don't know if I want to put, yeah, see these tomatoes here? So keep that in mind. They haven't been in there that long. As long as I get something from them, I like that. And I plan on putting some other things in here for the fall planting. I'm going to be planting some other stuff in here. So by the time I pull these tomato plants out of here and harvest them, I'll have other stuff growing and things that can take a little cold and some things that can go with snow on them. That's a David Austin rose. It's growing pretty tall this year. I didn't want to cut it back because it had so many buds on it. Every time I put mulch on these bushes, when the rain comes down off the side of the house, it doesn't come down like it should. It comes down and washes that mulch away. And I've had my gutters cleaned out, so I don't know why it's doing that, unless the long thing that goes down the gutter must be clogged. Maybe that's clogged instead of the gutter. Maybe that thing on the side there is clogged. Because I've had the gutters cleaned out, and the guy said there was nothing up there. So, but I was wondering, well, why does the water overflow like that? So I think that it must be those long things on the side must be clogged up. Or maybe there just be so much rain that gutter can't handle it. I'm planting all this stuff. Some of my little harvests. Okay, guys, I'm gonna have a fall. The next one gonna be a fall tour, so you guys come back and watch that because you're gonna get to see all my fall decor. Okay. So I thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Okay. Bye bye.